Alright guys, welcome back to the 76 Idle Adventure video. ESCANOR, the Emperor of Light, is now here, and this guy looks absolutely crazy. Once again, it always gets a little bit harder to showcase new characters because they are going to be, at the moment right now, a little bit lower deep level, but of course, over time, as we get access towards them through the, tickets, they just give more out for free, you eventually will be able to get them up to a higher dupe level. So if he's able to compete, or maybe even do a little bit more than what we expect him to do, then that's really, really good, right? But you can look at his kit. This actual ultimate is crazy. The Sun is, let's go for his kit first actually. So he's got heavy strike, and now the thing that surprised me a little bit is he's 50 range. Is that good? Kinda. He's going to stay out of the fight a little bit, but there are a bunch of AoE skills, and he is type disadvantage towards blue characters, so Berserk Melee AoE is going to hit him regardless. But of course, the big thing is that his actual single target skill got a pretty decent multiplier, got 120% attack, which is higher than usual, and he's going to be using this skill mostly, and a 30% chance to reduce his own cooldowns, which I would have liked that to be a bit higher because he doesn't increase his attack speed, and attack speed is just regular, right? Second skill, I actually read this wrong yesterday, so what this does is every 3 seconds, you're going to grant yourself High Noon. And the High Noon buff, what it does do is increase your final attack by 5% and final accuracy stacks up to 5 times. Basically just means you're always going to have a 25% actual attack buff and 25% actual accuracy buff too. However, when you do reach max stats, you're going to remove all debuffs from yourself and gain the debuff block for 5 seconds. Now, the thing is though, I from when I tested that a little bit, is he's always staying at 5, so I think this only works once, like the start of the battle, which is, I think, just more or less enough to where you can hopefully kill everyone or just remove all the debuffs straight away. But also on top of that, when he does deal damage to the target, either that be a single target or ultimate, his final damage is going to increase by 50% for every 1 High Noon effect applied towards the target, which is upwards to like 75% extra damage dealt, just basically just by attacking, which is yeah, kind of crazy. This skill effect, his special skill, does absolutely like no damage, right? It's just he's always going to either use his single target skill, which is good because he can reach his cooldowns, or of course his ultimate as well. So pairing him up with like a Lydia, for example, that increases normal damage skills is could be kind of nice a little bit. We kind of saw that with Zeldris too. And in the Cruel Sun, once again, 50 range, deals damage equal to 808% attack. Not the highest. Is it higher? I don't know, but it's AoE though, so like, what's Berserk Melee's? Berserk Melee is crazy, right? But look at his actual range, right? It's 6 meters around himself. He's basically doing that, but he's throwing the Cruel Sun towards like an Esterosa, whoever he may be attacking. So it's going to reach the backline a little bit more and inflict them with burn. So the ultimate's not going to do as much damage as like a Berserk Melee straight up, but you are going to do damage over time. And 25% is quite high, by the way. Numbers around 16, 18, 20, I think maybe the highest before level 4. So it's really, really high, but it's also the biggest thing too. And kind of the reason why we used to use Monspeed was to lower the critical resistance so your Berserk Melee can crit more often. He's kind of doing the same thing here, while also probably being more likely a better DPS. So overall, his kit looks really, really well. And like I did say, the more dupes you get for him, he's going to age really, really well. So, yeah, it's ESCANOR. I think he's good. You should summon for him. Let's just jump in towards the gameplay. All right, let's put Zeldris out because they're kind of the same thing. 2 ESCANORs on the same team is crazy. We'll use ESCANOR first because the actual ultimate lasts 10 seconds. So we can then use Goldfar. So we have the critical resistance lower. Then we use Goldfar to increase damage dealt if they actually are an actual support or debuffer. And then followed by Berserk Melee. Alright, let's see how well he does in just a few little stages on, there's the actual ultimate. It looks so sick, by the way. Just a massive sun coming down. Now, granted, right, ESCANOR is a lot lower deep level. You can see ESCANOR's like, what, 6 stars lower than the regular ESCANOR, and just they're in Berserk Melee entirely. So the fact he's able to do comparable damage, granted he is using the ultimate a little bit early on, but you kind of want to get those burns on early. And also, I feel like he might be a bit more of an actual AoE character, but, this is, it's decent. Like, it actually is decent. Like, you actually can use him at a lower dupe level, which is perfect, because if you are a new player, getting him early is going to probably level up your account quite a lot. And even if you're like a veteran, I think you can still get use out of him. Especially now, you can see it. They kind of moved the UI a little bit, but you can have 2 more slots. So throwing in a new ESCANOR, you know, it works if you unlock the slot. Yeah, that Cruel Sun's sick. All right, that's not bad. Tested a little bit in normal stages. All right, so I want to see what damage Esco can do, right? So we're having been a little bit of a synth team here, just like a regular stuff going on here. This is the ultimate order. We have to move it over because the stupid new UI change. But we have Lilia first because Lilia is going to increase normal damage skills by 30%, which means Escanor will get more damage plus more accuracy as well, which means he's more likely not to miss, especially because he's a little bit lower dupe level than most people or most characters. He might miss a few, but then followed up by an ultimate. He should have max high noons and then go crazy. We could pair him up a little bit with, obviously, Gopher as well, because Gopher will get more damage on the support characters, which might be alright. But the idea with Escanor is we really want to get those burns on early, so you can maximize the damage of the character. But yeah, standard stuff here. We can probably move this around. Obviously, you probably want to put Berserk Melee first anyway. But what if he dies? Alright, so here we go. Escanor, big nuke. Hits everyone. Not as much damage as I thought, but granted, though, it is, he's a low dupe level. Everyone's a lot higher dupes, right? But I think the biggest thing you saw there was you applied the critical resist lower, and then Berserk Mode follows up with even more damage. Like, that's really insane. Like, if you look at, like, our setup we've got going on, like it's explained. But that hit everyone, though. You saw how massive that was. But yeah, lower the critical resistance, and then... Oh, I did the wrong order. But yeah, go for then having the tempered memories, so the support and debuffers have increased damage by 20%. And a big Berserk Melee, that's going to be good. It's not bad damage, though. But once again, I think if we put the Berserk Melee first. Yeah, but it's, like, the problem is the Berserk Melee is just too broken. You know what? I might put normal Escanor in. Oh, his actual ult came off quick. Because remember, he resets his cooldowns, right? Okay, let's put normal Escanor in. Let's see, like, the damage comparable towards the two, right? We'll take out Lilia now. Alright, let's see. Big Cruelson. Lagged the game. I mean, Escanor did do more, to be fair. He did die, actually. Because you can see, what's it? The Esterosa will probably do too much damage towards them. Yeah, Escanor's way more tanky. I think that's the biggest thing is stats-wise. I think we still do win, but it's just... I mean, he's done his job a little bit. Berserk Melee's got rinse. Wow. Yeah, you can tell. Both Esteros doing most damage. I mean, we'll try 100G. We are basically the same. Let's see if it matters. Can Escanor do right here? I think he's going to die to the full counter, though. Didn't do as much damage as I thought he would, actually. Like, damage towards him. I think we somehow dodged the actual... I mean, comparable damage a little bit. Like I did say, guys, he's like 7 stars lower. Like, it's a little bit impressive. Like, 7 stars lower. And he's doing the same damage as Berserk Melee. And Escanor, I think, did do more. Granted, once again, he's type advantage. He's always going to be really good, right? But, like I say, he's got, like, extra, like, 100% extra. Wait, what's the like, attack stat difference? Yeah, he's got double his attack. That's crazy. All right, let's see. Big Cruelson. It's good that you can see it. That hits everyone. Like, literally, it doesn't miss. Unless you actually miss with the fact you have low accuracy. But it doesn't miss. And he just, once again, supporting the team, too. It's really good. I'm not going to lie. I forgot to give Escanor the extra 50% attack and defense. So, he was doing, like, pretty decent even without that. We'll see how much damage he does in Tower of Trials, because I think so far this is like the first good light type DPS. Zoldy's a little bit annoying because he has to build up towards it. And King wasn't bad, but like you see, 500k defense, 3 million HP. Compared to Escanor, it's a little more defense. Escanor's up front a little bit, plus more actual HP as well because he's 1 star lower. But the ultimate, it's wider, but it's still like more long than wide. So Escanor being a massive AoE, he's gonna hit probably, I think, most of them. But honestly, there's quite a lot of people in Tower Trials, so it's quite hard to actually hit everyone. But let's see. 4 billion. All right. And then reset that. I don't like the UI change here. It looks so weird. I'll have to move my camera from now on. Yeah, I think it's going to be by far the best light DPS. When it comes to like AoE content, that's 10 bill. I rinsed through that. Bear in mind, I was struggling this one, by the way. I think, granted, I've leveled up my account a little more, so it might have been a little bit easier. But I think now, definitely, with Escanor, going to be able to breeze through Tower Trials a little bit more. And especially with the addition of the 2 extra slots, having like an extra supporter. I remember when I was doing my active Tower Trials guide I did recently. I remember saying that, yeah, that hits everyone. That's crazy. And then King can follow up with even more damage too. And they're both competing here. 8 bill. I mean, Escanor is lower deep level. He's doing a bit more. He's doing a bit more. I think, yeah, King is RNG, right? Because King is, you have to get his disaster debuffs on. And when you get your disaster debuffs on, then your ultimate does get more damage. Like, I think it can increase up to like 15% per disaster. or 30%, I think it is. Well, like, at least Escanor is guaranteed to do increased damage dealt just based off his high noons. Much better design kit, like 5 bill. And like, that's what I mean. Thing dies way too quick. We're getting slapped. I think there's an Esteros on the field. Yeah, there is. I mean, we rearranged the team a little bit, but that's the big increase. I think we just had one more character, maybe put like a Gilfrost in. That'd be pretty good. So, Tower Trials, I mean, yeah, you expect them to be really good. I mean, we tried the little minions, the little goblins, to see if he does alright. Escanor, the OG one, was kind of annoying because it's a straight line and like they're kind of everywhere. Yo, that's crazy. It's not doing as much damage as Berserk Melee, but you know what? Just applying that critical resistance lower on them is enough to probably like likely one shot. That's huge. You know, what I want to do is actually look at the cooldown of his actual abilities. Is it spiking up? It is spiking a little bit. You see that little spike? That's proccing from his ability. So he's getting more of those. Look how fast he's going compared to the other characters. I know Goldfish resetting it, and he is first, so he's going to go down faster. But that reset on the cooldowns is noticeable a little bit, I think. Let's see if we can notice it. Like, proc. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. Before even Goldfish used it. Bro, that, I'm telling you, I think when you get max dupe level, that's gonna be actually one of the craziest abilities. Alright guys, so I think it's gonna wrap up the video. Honestly impressive. I really like him. Of course, Escanor Cruel Sun. This ultimate I think is so good as well. It's gonna age so much better. But I think in terms of like design wise, he's kind of in between in terms of light DPSs. A Zeldris and also a Fat King. Fat King has better like AoE potential because of his abilities entirely, which he does a lot better. But when it comes to a single target content, Zeldris is better because Zeldris can just go more crazy and scale even more, right? And he kind of works in the same way where you want to kind of bring Lilia to activate your normal skill damage increase. But of course, once again, it's not going to do as much as Zeldris, but when it comes to AoE content, you are going to be better for Zeldris. So I think he's like the love child of those two characters. I don't mind putting this Escanor on my team just to get the critical resist lower and to get the little bit extra burns. He's doing alright damage. And of course, most of the time in this game, you want to deal as much damage as possible. Sometimes you want to put some more support in. But I think with just 2 extra slots, because there's not that many new supports you've gotten recently, you're probably more likely going to be putting more DPSs in to clear through a lot more stages. And just throwing in this Escanor to deal more damage to your team because you're lowering the critical resistance is really good. It is lower than Monspeet's, but Monspeet is starting to be kind of annoying, right? Because he's starting to miss. His stats are lower now. This Escanor is a newer character. Like, I think this skill itself is better for like what you're doing in terms of actually like lowering the crit resist by 8% and the crit defense. So if you do crit, you're going to do more damage to the crit. But like I said, Monspeet's actual stats and like damage is not great, where Escanor is, yeah, it's gonna be crazy. So yeah guys, thank you for watching. Escanor, yeah, must summon. I think so. I think we still have 1 month to save for like the big end of month banner for next month, which I think is gonna be a must summon. That's probably like a new festival. Could be even be Merlin. And like I think considering most people have skipped the actual Valentine's Manascalar, this is the perfect time to go in, get the head start Escanor, so over time you can deep him out and he's gonna be an absolute menace. So guys, thank you for watching, and yeah.